Boxing brought to you tonight by Antonovich First. Antonovich. All right, Harrisburg versus Brooklyn. I don't think we've had that in professional boxing for a long time, if ever.
I don't know. Queens and the Bronx, I understand. Brooklyn and Queens, stuff like that in New York City. But Harrisburg?
All right, when the bell rings, it's going to be curious to see just which way Sowers comes out, lefty or righty. And he's coming out in an orthodox stance. Malignaggi seems a little bit surprised by it, actually. Malignaggi characteristically comes out winging and open for that stiff left jab, which he didn't expect to see.
So far, opening seconds, battle of the hard jabs, very hard jabs.
Very patient, the calmer of the two. One of the things we asked Sowers, what did you learn in your first fight? He says, I was too anxious for it. Looking to calm down. Right now, he certainly seems the more relaxed of the two fighters. Malignaggi right now looks like the poster boy for hyperactivity, Randy. As he gets caught with a short left hook, shakes his head. Nah, that didn't bother me. If anything, it seemed to piss him off. He's running in. But gets caught again with a lot of shots. Malignaggi keeping his hands down too much.
He's a cocky kid. Hey, Coney Island's known for its hot dogs. Brooklyn's known for its hot dogs. And Malignaggi's another hot dog.
Malignaggi, of course, out of Bensonhurst. Made his pro debut, though, in Coney Island just a month ago. First round KO. Sowers, his first pro fight, going the full 4-round distance, winning a decision. That was back in May. That was in his home state of Pennsylvania. More or less coming into the backyard right now. Malignaggi, a big right over the top, catches Malignaggi. Malignaggi getting tagged here. He's really coming in wide open, Randy.
He doesn't care. You know what I see in him right now? A young Vinny Pazienza. A lot of hot dog.
But a big problem, and I say this as a manager as well as an analyst, is in a 4-round fight, you can't afford that. You get knocked down just one time, and all of a sudden you're fighting for a draw.
Exactly. You're playing catch-up the rest of the way.
And now he's calming down just a little bit, starting to sit down on his jab a little bit, which is what he needs to do. As Sowers surprising everybody, coming out and fighting right-handed. Malignaggi now getting the range, lands a pretty good combination. And why does Pete Santiago jump in there?
That time I really wasn't sure. I like referees to just keep out of the way, let the guys brawl, and this one will be a brawl if he keeps out of the way.
There was really no need for that. And again, walking into that stiff jab of Sowers is Malignaggi.
Well, you know, Santiago is an outstanding amateur rep. Thousands of amateur fights. And sometimes they take that with them into the pros.
Good combination at the end of the round for Sowers.
And they, in the amateurs, as you know, they don't let guys really mix it up that much. You can't get physical in the amateurs. You can in the pros.
Well, at least it's perceived that Sowers has gotten over his anxiousness. If that's what he learned from the first fight, he learned it well. Stay with us.
Can't get enough of Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing? Download the Star Boxing TV app or check out our Roku channel to watch exclusive content and classic fights. Every punch, every knockout, every screen. The Star Boxing TV app gives you exclusive access to every moment of Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing. Available on Apple, Android, and Roku. Just search Star Boxing to get in the ring.
Round number 2 of a scheduled 4-rounder. Paulie Malignaggi. He's in the Italian flag shorts, solid black. That would be Robert Sowers out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. How'd you see that? Now Sowers comes out southpaw in the 2nd round, Randy.
Well, he said he's going to be doing things like this, and he told the truth.
Ambidextrous.
He looked right into those Star Boxing truth cameras and told the truth.
How'd you score the 1st round?
I gave it to Malignaggi, 10-9. I mean, hold your fingers apart this much. It was that kind of round.
Well, it's that kind of round because I gave it the other way. I thought Sowers landed the better shots, and his jab was real stiff. And I thought he caught Malignaggi quite a bit. Of course, Paulie the more active, but
it'll be interesting because if you and I keep like this, chances are the judges see it the same, very close. And the judges who do count today, Georgia Cologne is one of them, Steve Weisfeld and Julie Letterman.
Three very experienced New York judges. They've
brought
seen it all.
Brought out the A crew today.
Let's see right now if Malignaggi adjusts, try to throw that big right hand of his. Good movement right now, good lateral motion on the part of Sowers. Malignaggi, though, getting on the inside where he needs to be, especially when Sowers goes southpaw, lands a couple of good shots there.
I asked Sowers yesterday if he has any hobbies. He said boxing and religion. I said, wait a minute. Do they go together? He said they go together very much. It took me all night to figure out how they go together, and I realize now how they do. In both of them, you can make somebody see the light. Yeah?
You've been waiting since 5 o'clock in the morning to use that line.
One big right hand, and you see all kind of stars. You see the universe.
Oh, really teeing off right now, and out goes the mouthpiece of Sowers. Oh, and why is the fight? Malignaggi thinks the fight stopped. It's not stopped. They're just putting the mouthpiece in.
No, that was a bad time to do that.
We had the same situation earlier this evening with Santiago. He's stopping the fight before there's a lull. This is wrong.
I used to have that when I was commissioner with guys. I'd take him in and I'd show him the tape, and I said, you tell me, was there a lull in the action here? And if the answer is yes, then fine, you did the right thing.
Not even close. A great moment from Malignaggi, and really helping out Sowers there. And if his referee, Pete Santiago.
Wow. And if you do get a look at that again, everybody who's watching, I want you to say, was there a lull in the action when the referee stepped in there?
Warning now for hitting behind the head from Santiago to Sowers.
See, once again, I think that's where the amateur background comes in. He spent so much time in the amateurs. When the mouthpiece goes out, they're used to jumping in like that so quick. And Pete Santiago is an outstanding referee.
Well, talk about jumping. Malignaggi jumped up on the corner of the ring. He thought the fight was stopped because he was so surprised at Malignaggi jumping in. Excuse me, of Santiago jumping in. Good combinations right now. Malignaggi really getting the range, and he seems to be enjoying the southpaw style of Sowers a lot better than the orthodox, Randy.
I'm not sure if he's enjoying anything.
Hey, boxing fans, come out for live boxing. Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing presents Rockin' Fights. For ticket information, go to starboxing.com or ticketmaster.com. See some of the best young fighters. Star Boxing, Rockin' Fights, it's a knockout.
Second half of a scheduled 4-rounder, highly touted Paulie Malignaggi having a very good second round, but not real happy with what our referee Pete Santiago did. Mouthpiece rule inflicted a little too soon when Sowers lost his mouthpiece, and Malignaggi might have lost his opportunity, at least in my opinion, Randy, for a knockdown, if not possibly even a stoppage.
He's going to have to get over that and just get back to work, use that jab. And he's got a fine jab.
Still staying southpaw with Sowers, and was fighting a lot better from the orthodox righty stance. Now he's talking to Malignaggi right now, telling him, is that all you've got? But right now, that it seems to be plenty.
I'm going to have to, you know what? I see a lot of Vinny Pacienza. The more I'm watching him, the twirling of the hand, and the cockiness, the faces he's making. But quite frankly, he's talking a lot. He's got to stick that jab out more than he's sticking his tongue out.
Vinny would have bled at the pre-fight interview yesterday, though.
Oh, that's not nice.
Paulie is yet to get it. There goes the mouthpiece again, and Santiago stopping the fight again.
That is not the rule. That is not the rule. Again, the commission should take him in, sit him down, not do a number on him, just say, tell me. Read the rule. It says when there's a lull in the action.
And he's absolutely killing the momentum for Malignaggi. That mouthpiece is getting knocked out because Malignaggi is landing.
And the corner of Malignaggi going crazy, and rightfully so, because their fighter keeps losing that momentum.
And somebody should be, from their corner, should be talking to Santiago between rounds.
You know what, the first time it happened, if I was in the corner, I would have run right over to the commission and say, the referee did a bad job on that one.
Nice left-hand lead right now by Sowers. Continues to fight in the lefty stance. He fought righty in the first round. Had a much better first round, one that I actually gave him. But it's been all Malignaggi since round 2, and especially since Sowers reverted back to the southpaw. Thought about going orthodox there for a second, Randy, and for some reason continues left-handed.
I think he feels when he turns left-handed, southpaw, he's able to avoid that left jab of Malignaggi.
Still egging Malignaggi on. And Malignaggi having a field day here in round 3. In total control. Remember, this is scheduled for 4. Nobody's been on the floor yet. Although for a couple of times it looked like Sowers might be going down, if not for being saved by the mouthpiece. Nice body shot by Malignaggi.
I think he's got to do a lot more of that. Young fighters kind of disdain the body shots. They're all headhunters.
What about where Malignaggi keeps his left hand, Randy?
What about it? It's down south of the border. I mean, I don't know what tapes he's watching, who he's trying to emulate, but it's a very bad place for his left hand to be.
It does make it easy to throw that left into the body, though, I'll tell you. And he keeps landing that left hook to the body. Malignaggi's legs aren't going to be there. Excuse me, Sowers won't. And Sowers now switching back to the orthodox stance, where he had much more success earlier in the fight. Big round for Malignaggi. Fourth and final round, and what a fight it's been. Paul Malignaggi, though, taken into the last round here by Robert Sowers, and not without a little help from referee Pete Santiago, who twice in this fight, once in the second and once in the third, saved Sowers when he lost his mouthpiece, and not following the lull in the action rule, Santiago stopped the fight. Randy, how do you see it going into the fourth?
I've given every round so far to Malignaggi. The first round was real close. I gave it to Malignaggi. You had it the other way for Sowers. But this is a real close fight, a very interesting two-sided fight.
I've got a 29-28 for Malignaggi, giving the first round for Sowers. Sowers coming out here again in the orthodox stance, which worked so well for him in the first round.
You know, if the fight continues like this and it goes to a decision and Malignaggi wins every round, that doesn't say the whole story, because that would be a shutout, but yet it would be a competitive shutout, and the record doesn't show that.
Well, what's not going to show up in the box score, as the baseball expression goes, is the mouthpiece situation. I really believe that Malignaggi was on a tear both of those times.
Something just happened that Sowers took a look over at Santiago.
Some kind of heads came together, because that left eye is growing like a watermelon right now, and there goes the mouthpiece for the third time in the fight.
That time I didn't even see it fall.
He's taking a point this time, though.
You know why? I think he felt that he spit the mouthpiece out. And another thing about that, you have to warn the guy, because it's not the first time.
Look at the left eye from that last sequence of Sowers. I've never seen an eye swell up that quickly, Randy. It just came together. Heads came together about 30 seconds ago, and that eye is closing like no tomorrow.
And he had better not try blowing his nose. You know what happens when they blow the nose? The eye will shut right away.
Yeah, but at this point, we're in the last round. It probably doesn't matter if he can't breathe, but it's certainly a target right now for Malignaggi, and the crowd's getting behind him, chanting Paulie, and he's cheering him on, but he should keep his eye right now on Sowers and see if he could stop Sowers. He's got that advantage of the bad eye.
Oh, he got hurt.
And Sowers catches Malignaggi napping, or
a little bit off balance, but believe me, he felt that shot. His knees did a little Mr. Bojangles.
Oh, I really like the body attack of Malignaggi. He goes to the body with that left like very few young fighters do. And I think that's the one advantage of where he carries it that low, Randy.
He's got that up jab like Larry Holmes, like Muhammad Ali. That up jab, it comes right from down around the waist. Sometimes you don't even see it.
Malignaggi right now, under a minute to go in the round, seems very resigned. Now it looks like he's ready to let it go to distance. And just as I say that, beautiful 4 unanswered punches, and Santiago going to jump in and stop the fight.
Well, there's an answer for that. A few weeks ago, a short time ago in New York, there was a fight where the guy was taking a lot of punches, and there was a tragedy. You don't want to see that. and on the side of safety, the referee jumped in and ended the fight. The crowd doesn't like it. I understand what he did. I kind of wish it went on more, but I understand what he did.
Well, Randy, you're of course talking about Bathavian Scotland, who unfortunately passed away just a few short weeks ago. Right here in New York, he fought on the Intrepid. And but nevertheless, I still think, in my opinion, a quick whistle here. Taking away probably the opportunity for Paul Malignaggi to maybe get a clean stoppage of the fight and dropping Robert Sowers. So in an odd way, I think it's the third time that opportunity was taken away from him. But you take a look at the end right now, he's teeing off on that almost closing left eye of Sowers.
Just teeing off on him there, popping away. In fact, that last shot missed. The left hook missed. And I hate to see a referee stop a fight when the last punch missed. And there wasn't a lot of punches that did land.
Well, Santiago calling a somewhat strange fight tonight, but we're going to get the official time of the stoppage from our ring announcer, Dean Stone.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Pete Santiago calls a halt to this bout. The official time is 2 minutes, 38 seconds of round number 4. Your winner by TKO, Paul Malignaggi.
All right, well, Paul Malignaggi, he'll improve to 2-0. 2 wins by way of knockout. Strange stoppage, and not to take anything away from Malignaggi's performance, which was stellar tonight, but it seemed like 3 times tonight he was on the verge of putting Sowers down. Twice he didn't get the opportunity because of Santiago stopping the fight because of the mouthpiece situation, and certainly not with lulls in the action. And here, in what it looked like to me a quick stoppage, the bout being ended near the end of the 4th round, and awarded on a TKO to Malignaggi. Dropping down to 1-1 and somewhat disappointed in his performance from the right or the left side. That would be Robert Sowers. I'm sure he'll go back to the gym in Harrisburg and once again put his religion and his boxing together and see what kind of an equation he can come up with. Our Randy Gordon's in the ring right now. He's trying to get a hold of Paul Malignaggi, pride of Bensonhurst. And once again, you see the waving off
into the ring
by Pete Santiago. But Randy Gordon right now has Robert Sowers, and we're going to find out Sowers' interpretation of the stoppage. All right, Randy.
Tibetan lamb coat.
For you to be standing here like this, the look of disgust on your face when the referee stopped it. But I think you have to understand that, boxing, they rather err on the side of safety than have you take any more shots.
I understand that by all means, but, there was just a very tragic loss in boxing, and it's a shame, and I can understand the risk, but this is my only second fight. I knew I was coming in against very tough Paul. He's a national champion. He had over 100 amateur fights. I had but 19, and I knew I was stepping up, but I did it for the experience, but still. To call me, you could imagine losing to begin with, but I understand how it was against a great competition, opposition, or whatever, but to call me 15 seconds in the 4th round, I had 15 seconds left. You could at least let me finish and dig me. Yeah, I took a couple hits, but he was tired, I was tired. I was staying covered up, just because I take a couple hits. They stopped. That's the big disappointment. It's a KO on my record, and it shouldn't have been.
You acquitted yourself very well tonight. You made a lot of fans tonight.
I didn't acquit myself. I can fight much better than this, but he threw me off. Game. He's very good. Like I said, he's national champion. He just took me off my game. I can fight much better, but I give much props to Mr. Paulie there.
Rematch?
Definitely. In a little bit of time. I took this fight sooner than I should have, but I would definitely love a rematch. He just got a lot more experience than me, but still, the disappointment of a knockout. 15 seconds in the last round left. That's the biggest disappointment.
Robert, I'm sorry about tonight. I'm telling you, you made a lot of fans here tonight. You have nothing to be ashamed about. Let's get Paul over here, too. Congratulations on an outstanding performance.
All right, Randy now. Randy's going to try to get Paul Malignaggi.
You're going to see a cross-cut section of all the...
Randy Gordon's got the winner, Paul Malignaggi.
Paul Malignaggi looks a little bit like Tony Danza. You fight a little bit like Vinny Pazienza. A lot of Coney Island hot dog in you, but you got the job done tonight.
Yeah, that's my style, man. I do a lot of shaking and baking and hot dogging, man. I got to have fun in there. What's the use if you don't have fun? You know what I mean?
You made a lot of fans out there. People got to look at you for the first time. Is this what you're like all the time?
This is basically outside the ring. I'm a little more mellow, you know what I mean? But this is the exciting version of Paulie, you know what I mean? I'm cool with everybody, but in the ring, I come here to do my business. So I put on a show.
Let's talk about a few things. When you knocked the mouthpiece out, the referee, did you think he jumped in very quick there?
Yeah, when I knocked the mouthpiece out the first time, I thought the referee had stopped the fight. I thought it was early, but still, I thought he stopped the fight. And I jumped on the ropes, celebrating what I thought was a victory. But, you know, it would have been premature there, so it's good that they let it go on. I needed to work anyway, and so we continued.
How about that ending? Did you think that was rather quick?
I think they could have let Robert finish the last round. It was the fourth round. He was taking a lot of punishment, though. So I don't knock the decision. Because, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry after what happened to B-Save in Scotland. But I still think he could have finished the round because it was the last round.
I asked him about a rematch. He said yes. What do you say?
Oh, yeah, bring it on, man. Anytime. You know what I mean? I take on all comers. Fajardo, where you at, Fajardo? Ranked by the WBC. Fight somebody real.
Ladies and gentlemen, 135 pounds of hot dog from Brooklyn, Paul Malignaggi. Let's go back to ringside to another hot dog, Arnie Rosenthal.
All right, thank you, Randy.